Good evening, everyone, and a huge welcome to this very special celebration tonight at the Royal Bank of Canada. I'm Aisha Patel, I'm the COO for RBC Capital Markets Europe, and I'm delighted to be powering this year's Rising Stars Awards. We're also very pleased to be extending our partnership with We Are the City through to 2024. Can I just say, firstly, I'm just in absolute awe of all of the incredible people, all the incredible women in the room tonight, of all of the achievements, and it's a real honour for us to be able to host all of you here today. Huge congratulations to all of the shortlisted nominees, and thank you to the judges and sponsors for being with us here today as well. I think you'll all agree that Vanessa and all of the We Are the City team have done a phenomenal job of keeping these awards going through the last 2 years. So a huge thank you to all of them, and also is one of the reasons why we're here today. I'll start with a little bit about RBC, for those of you who don't know us. RBC's been in the UK for 110 years. We have over 5,000 employees across Europe, with just under 2,000 employees in London. We have over 87,000 employees globally and over 16 million clients. We are Canada's largest bank. Diversity and inclusion is a core value. It's one of the ways in which we bring our purpose of helping our clients thrive and our communities prosper to life. We also have very active and passionate diversity networks, starting with RBC Pride, supporting LGBTQ+ colleagues, iCare, supporting parents, carers, and the general well-being of all of our colleagues, our Multicultural Employee Alliance for ethnic talent and employees of all backgrounds, and our Women, our gender diversity network. Having balance in the representation of women across all parts of our organisation is critical for us, and ensuring that it remains in place across all the way through all of the senior levels is of great focus. So I'm very pleased that we have 46% representation of women on the board of RBC, but we still have more to do. We are investing in our talent from a gender and ethnic diversity standpoint, including through our entry-level and early talent programs. We are continually investing in our family-friendly frameworks, covering parental leave, return to work, external coaching, buddy schemes. And we're also focused on our flexible working opportunities and in supporting employees with hybrid working, as well as enhancing our other life event policies. We are a member of Race at Work Charter and of the Women in Finance Charter. So we absolutely recognise there is some way to go to improve representation of women at senior and executive levels, and that there is more that we need to do in closing the gender pay gap. It is important to us as a firm, and it's critical to the industry and to the workplaces in general. For all of those reasons is why supporting initiatives like Rising Stars, which represents the female talent pipeline and the next generation of future leaders, is so important to us at RBC. Before I hand over to Vanessa, I just want to say a few thank yous. Thank you very much to the RBC team, who are just fantastic and for making today happen. Thank you very much to We Are the City for everything that you do for women and for working with us on the event tonight. Thank you very much to all of you for being here tonight, and a huge congratulations again. We wish you all the very best at the award ceremony in July, and enjoy the celebration tonight. And with that, I'll hand over to Vanessa.
I think I need a clicker. Thank you, Aisha. How are we all doing? Oh, come on! That's better. How are you doing? Yeah! Come on, you're shortlisters. I need more energy than that. So I'm not going to keep you too long, because obviously we want to get on to keynotes, and I want to get you back out and networking. But I just want to tell you just the story of Rising Stars. So yesterday on my Facebook, a little note popped up, and it had this really bad logo on it. And it said, I'm thinking of doing some awards, and I put it on my Instagram, some of you may have seen it. Which logo do you like? And so that was when Rising Stars was just a mere idea. And the reason why what sparked that thought was when you looked at the landscape of awards for women, they was all for senior women. And that's great. We don't have enough senior women in positions of power. However, once you get to that level and you get one award, all the rest follow. And it was just this focus on senior women. And I'm like, well, we're talking about the lack of senior women. How do we get people there? So what happens to the women in the middle? What happens to the ladies that are coming through? Who's there supporting them? So kind of took that as part of our remit. So to create an awards that focuses on people below kind of director level, people that don't have that big landscape of staff, people that don't have a large P&L, and let us be the conduit that can raise the profile of these women and tell their stories. So that's where it began, in a very hot and sweaty Portcullis House, which is a government building. Heather, you remember, there was no chairs. I never heard the last of it. There was no chairs there. And I think Alison Rose, CEO of NatWest, gave me £1,500 for food and drinks, so she kind of started the ball rolling. And that night was so magical. It was 50, just 50 rising stars, that we decided to do it again. And that was 7.5 years ago. So we're kind of going towards this target of 1,000 incredible women. But one of the things that you realise is that even whether you're shortlisted or whether you go on to become a winner, you are part of this We Are City family. And we have a lot of friends, you know, so you'll hear from some of our partnerships, like, for example, Heather will talk about CMI, you'll hear from Warwick Business School, because for us, it isn't just about giving you an award or giving you recognition as part of the shortlisting and then disappearing. We wouldn't be doing our job properly. It's about what support can we give you thereafter. And if you talk to any of the previous rising stars, whether they're winners or shortlisters, they'll tell you that we are true to our word. We still get emails. I had an email yesterday from somebody that won back in 2016, and she's like, I'm thinking of going onto a board. Can you give us some advice? So like, she's come back to us all those years later, and she's now going onto boards and stuff like that. So for that, it's fabulous. So that's a little bit about the awards. I would say you're shortlisted. You've already won in a kind of way, right? And absolutely, you should be so proud. Have you seen our judges list? They are the creme de la creme across the UK. They know their stuff. Your nomination wouldn't have got through unless you were exceptional. You know, the ones of you that are in the room, there's 200, there were 1,300 people, a record amount of nominations. You know, if you don't pat yourself on the back, we'll continue to do it for the rest of the night. But I'm being serious, a sincere well done. And as you know, that obviously the winners list comes out on Tuesday. For the rest of you, you know, if you don't make that winners list, you are highly commended by us. Please talk about your shortlisting. Be proud of it. Share on your social media tonight. Make the connections for the future. You know, post about it on LinkedIn. Be proud of it. Be as proud of yourselves as we are of you. So I'm going to hand over now, but I hope that I get to meet all of you. As I say, I hope that you connect with me on LinkedIn. I hope that you become part of the We Are the City family like I want you to be. But have a wonderful evening. Congratulations once again. I think you're all awesome. And I'll be back to close. Heather, over to you. So Heather Melville, OBE, Dr. Heather Melville, has been with the awards since the very, very beginning. She's one of our lead judges. She's a huge inspiration to many women, including myself. She is the chair of CMI Women, where she's actually been facilitating a conference all day today, which started very early this morning, rubbing shoulders with Sophie Wessex, HRH, no less, which she's got to dash to a dinner with, but she's made time to jump over here in a taxi to talk to you. So a huge round of applause for the incredible Heather Melville.
Thank you. So I'm sorry, that's not enough. I've come all the way, I've been out all the way. So on your feet, on your feet, on your feet. That's it. And that's for all of you, because it's really important that you start from tonight celebrating your success. Because what we tend to do is, and I've seen this over the years, 700 women have gone through here. And I can say that most of them, I've seen all the nominations, I've seen all the citations, because that's what happens when you're a judge. And what I also see is that a lot of them, they kind of cower. They don't go out and tell the world about what they're doing, all right? And for me, you don't have to make a big public statement, but you have to make some kind of statement, because in the world that we operate today, people don't just look at your CV, they look at your digital footprint. They want to know what you've been doing, what you've been involved in, and the fact that you've been shortlisted is an amazing achievement. So another round of applause for you guys. Right. So, I have just come from an amazing conference today. It's the first one we've ever done for CMI Women. And the reason I mention that to you is that it started off that we were going to have probably 600 people join us digitally and 200 people in the room. I can't tell you the headaches we had. We had the best part of 1,800 people today, men and women. And guess what? The room looked like this room. for me, it's an absolute pleasure to sit in a room that has got full diversity in it. When I look across, there are different ages, different shades of skin, and across different industries, and that's what matters. Now, the reason I've mentioned CMI is that you're all going to get, all of the winners, which will be next week, are all going to get a year's membership to CMI. And for me, that's one of the things that helps you on your career. So you've been shortlisted, and if you happen to win, you're going to get that. But there's another thing coming as well. And I just think of it, in this room are a couple of headhunters. Now, I'm going to say this because I'm like that, right? I used to be a banker, I've done a number of things, and now I'm a headhunter. And the interesting thing is I often hear organisations say they don't know where to look for the talent. This is the best kept secret. Lots of organisations are asking us for the up-and-coming talent. Do you know any of them? Do you know any women? Do you know any young men? Do you know any people from different social backgrounds? Do you know any black women? Because quite often I keep getting told there aren't any out there. Right, well, we're going to dispel that myth. I've got with me tonight a friend, but also somebody that I look up to, and she's going to kill me, but I don't really care. Like, I'm going to die once. And she was voted last year as the #1 most influential black woman in the UK. Take the floor, Jackie, sorry. So, I did that because quite often you say you can't see any role models. And if we can't see any role models, we don't think there's anywhere for us to go. So we're going to change that myth as well. So tonight and tomorrow, you can talk about some of the people who you've met. And you can say, if you don't get a chance to speak to Jackie because I'm dragging her to my next event with me, at least you've seen her on stage, okay? I do want you to celebrate. Tell your family, tell your friends, right? Be proud. These awards, really, this recognition means so much. There are organisations that will look at the talent. They're all talking about talent in their organisations today. And they're not waiting for HR to help them. They're looking at these lists. Business leaders are going, tell me who there is out there in that industry that I can look at. I think for me, it's about you investing in yourself as well now. So that's the first step, network. So every time I go somewhere, I give people homework. At the conference I was today, I gave them homework. And the homework was, but I'm going to increase yours because yours involves alcohol, right? So it was in the day, there was no alcohol served, so they only had to meet 5 people. But because you're in here, you're going on the rooftop, you're all going to be tasked with meeting 10 people that you don't know. And I will ask Vanessa and her team to check. I expect to see a lot of activity on LinkedIn because you can't take your career to the next level without having a strong network, right? All those people that tell you don't need to network, tell them to get lost. That's rubbish. You need to network so people know who you are. Before you've landed, before your name lands, they know that you exist. I think for me, Vanessa said 1,300 nominations. That's a lot. But what I love about it is that we get to find things out about you that we wouldn't ordinarily have known about because you're all sitting at work, doing your jobs, doing the little side hustles, but not telling anybody about the things that you're doing. So no one knows about these additional skills that you have acquired. But through these awards, we pick out those additional skills because we're interested in all the things you do on top of your day job, which is really important to you. So, and I say this because quite often someone will say, well, they haven't got the experience. They might even say that you're too young. They might even say she's from a different industry. But actually, all of those things added with what you do on top of your day job, what does that demonstrate? Your capacity to learn, to lead, to give of your time and to make a difference. So you really need to hold that out there. I want you to celebrate. I'm so sorry I can't be with you tonight, but have a few drinks on my behalf. RBC, thank you so much for hosting one of the biggest parties that's going to happen in the city. Well, actually this week, and then there's again next week, but let's focus on tonight. I do want you to celebrate, make some noise. And what I also want to say is a huge thank you to my friend and somebody I look up to because this was an idea. It really was an idea on the back of a fag packet when she used to smoke. And it really was. I want to do this because there's this pool of talent that never gets recognised. It's all the senior women up there and they all look the same. And actually, if I look in this room, over the last 7.5 years, every single one of the events that we have hosted, the room has looked like this. So we're going back out to business to say, to hell with you, there is talent out here. The talent starts in here. I've got a couple of colleagues who are here tonight. I'm not going to tell you who they are because you need to go and talk to them and find out who they are. But I want this list because I am interested in making a difference in our corporate organisations. We know that being an inclusive organisation with the best people at the helm of the organisations mean that you're a successful organisation. So when I hear from people that, well, actually, they're not ready yet, I don't think they're, you know, they've got to do a few more things, they need to be around for a bit longer, I dispel that myth, that's rubbish. Or when you hear that they're too old, because of, see, that happens as well to some of us. Well, we're looking for someone a little bit younger. And actually, they might not say that, but you can see it in their eyes. So the thing about tonight is there's a mixture of ages. We've got amazing men in the room who are male champions that are doing a lot to really keep things going. We've got, I think, over 20 different industry categories in here. 20, right? So for my colleagues that are in the room, I will be leaving you to be making contact with all of these people here because these are the talent. You are the talent for tomorrow. When people talk about the next 2 to 3 years, I expect when I'm claiming my pension to see all of you in the news, celebrated. And my last point is, please don't forget to bring somebody else up with you, right? Sometimes it's so easy to take the accolade and run away. So I have a mentor, and anyone who knows me, I won't embarrass them, there's a couple of people in here that I mentor, but I will not mentor anybody who will not commit to mentoring someone else, right? So that's 2 pieces of homework you've got. So that's 10 people, actually 3. Celebrate and party hard and make sure you take some other people on the journey up with you. Thank you so much and do yourself proud.
Hello everyone. Firstly, I want to say cheers. I will have a glass of Prosecco in a moment once I've done this speech. I'm really delighted to be here and I just want to thank Vanessa for the partnership that has been emerging over the last couple of years and also Aisha and the team for this amazing venue. As I said, we've been developing the relationship and working closely with We Are the City for a couple of years, and it's been great to see how it's flourished and grown. It started off by knowledge sharing, so sharing some of our research and our common passion for really breaking down those biases and creating gender equality and inclusive leadership. And we've also been delighted to welcome Vanessa. She's done a number of webinars for us as part of our Succeeding Through Change series, and also has been a guest lecturer, I think, for some of our MBA students. So it's been a really good symbiotic relationship. And more recently, Penny, the lovely Penny from WBS, some of you will have met her before. She's one of the judges, and she's been really fundamental in strengthening this relationship. And you guys here, just take some time to reflect on those mountains that you've climbed and the courage and the bravery that you've shown. The fact that you're sitting here, you're obviously influencing great change, and it's a real privilege to be part of that. And I wish you all the very best as you continue on that journey. As Vanessa said, we are one of the education partners this year, and as part of that, I'm very excited that I'm going to be meeting some of you again on the 29th of September. We have a base in the Shard, so we have a satellite campus in the Shard, and we're putting together what I hope is going to be a really lively and engaging day of activity. We've got some of our inspirational academics going to come along. It's going to be a discussion, debate, richness of discussion and debate to really look at some of the challenges that we have and how we can really be successful in creating that inclusive leadership. So it's going to be lively. So I look forward to meeting some of you there. And we're also going to welcome back one of our award winners from last year, Trebeni, who's going to come and share her story of how she's been influencing great change within her organisation. So as I say, many, many congratulations. Enjoy the celebration tonight, and I really do look forward to meeting with you and hopefully deepening relationships, because it is all about working together. So well done, everyone, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.
Hi everyone, I'm really humbled to be here among all of you brilliant people today. So as Vanessa said, I'm from charity Future First. We exist to help create networks for young people, starting from very young. In fact, we work in primary schools, but we also predominantly work in secondary schools. We've been around for over 10 years now, and in that time, we've worked with over 1,200 schools, and we've built a network of over 270,000 state-educated people across the UK who are ready to volunteer to support young people and inspire them and motivate them, build their confidence, and ultimately affect their life chances in the future. and we particularly support disadvantaged pupils, those that don't have role models in their everyday lives. And in 10 years, we've reached over 500,000 young people. And it's really amazing opportunity to volunteer, going back to your old school. But it's not just your old school you can volunteer at. We have a number of initiatives available. And as Vanessa said, if you win, and even if you don't win, we'd love you to record a video, write a blog, be on a poster for us. Last autumn, we launched brand new technology. It's like LinkedIn with all the safeguards for young people. It's called the Future First Hub, and it allows schools to build alumni communities online, and for those alumni to log on, spend 5 minutes sharing their advice with young people, uploading a video, sharing a blog. And it means that we can get your videos, your blogs, your posters out to young people across the UK. With one click of a button, you're reaching thousands of young people. And research does show that that kind of material really inspires and motivates and is impactful. You don't need to be in the room with a young person to be inspiring and to motivate them. So we love on a video. Visit futurefirst.org.uk and you can either sign up to support your old school. If your old school isn't working with us or you didn't go to state school in the UK, you can join our national community of volunteers, and we'll be sharing volunteer opportunities with you to mentor, to go back to school, and to do a whole range of things. And it can be 10 minutes of your time, it can be a day of your time, it can be 9 weeks of your time mentoring. Whatever time you have, there's something that we can do with you. So please do visit our website and please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. You're all brilliant role models for young people today. And I think we've got a video to show you. Do I just click across?
Sounds quite low at the beginning.
Okay. So this is an example.
Because ultimately, when you work in Hollywood and in any studios, having myself worked at over 20 studios on over 30 projects, with different kinds of people, you realize that really the skill that kind of transcends all types of environments is your ability to understand and know the person you're dealing with.
Not being afraid to be demanding of what you want to achieve in your career and being persistent in chasing your goals. Always give 100% no matter how small the task, and really make sure that you utilise your support system in the shape of coaches, mentors, teachers, friends, family and your line management.
I think that's advice we can all relate to, and they're just some snippets from last year's winners. We'd love you to do similar, so I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you.